Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday the 24th of May 2016. As you can see from the price charts yesterday's session was very quiet. The value between the red and blue line is only 50 points, and you can see the market barely managed to do this during yesterday's session. So we see the first bar kicking off in the main session, this big bar here. This is when the activity by the main players took place, and then the market stayed sideways until it eventually traded up to the 17,550, eventually making its way back down just before the quiet session, although it would be deemed as normally the quiet session after at least a 100-point swing in the first part, but not for Monday. And of course the reasons for that are what I said in Monday's market alert, and that's there is no news this week really to move the markets, and the market is waiting for the Fed's decision on what it's going to do with interest rates at its live meeting next month. So the market came back to the 17,500 level, gave a buy signal, and it was torturous watching this trade as the market eventually made its way up to the 20-point scalp, then stopped, and then in the evening we had a sell signal which saw the market return back down to the 17,500. So a very quiet day, and I would expect this to continue as well as we go forward, in particular this week because of the lack of news and also going into the holiday weekend as well. In the daily chart you can see how quiet it was. We have what's known as an inside bar. But what is more interesting here, just to go back to what an inside bar is. An inside bar is the high and the low trade inside of the range of the previous bar's high and low. So it's an inside trading range. But notice the volume is actually greater than the up day during Friday. So again, you've still got this selling. You'll see an increase in any price bar that finishes on the lowest of the previous day. The volume always seems to increase, so there is a huge selling pressure in this market, but it's just being held up by the market makers at the moment. So now we're seeing a bit of weakness for the overnight market again, but very, very sideways. If we just switch back to the 5-minute chart, move the chart forward, you can see how quiet this market really is. And Tuesdays can be notoriously quiet as well for some unknown reason. I think it's after the weekend the market then takes on board all of the news from the weekend, and once that's out of the way, Tuesday can be a quiet day. News-wise, what have we got? Let's have a look. There's a bit from the UK, the European markets as well, but of course that will all be out of the way by the time the US opens. And at 3 p.m. we've just got the new home sales, which are forecast to be greater than the previous, which should give the market a bit of a boost to the upside should these figures come out greater than the forecasted figure there. And finally, on the implied volatility, I don't know what's happened here, but we don't have a chart today. I don't know whether they've changed their website and they're now going to start charging for showing the chart. Whatever it is, I will take a look and find out. And all I can tell you is that it's showing there 13.19, which seems to be up on Fridays. And again, bit of a surprise there really, but then when you see the selling pressure to the downside in the daily chart, maybe the floor trader is aware of something that we're not at this time, or the option sellers are aware of something. So really that's it. There's not a lot to report other than Deutsche Bank have been caught again rigging, this time stocks. A few weeks ago it was the metals markets, and now it's the stocks following the 2008 crash, and not a small sum either, 450 million euros for equity trading fraud. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're not caught for fiddling the bond market next, because the way these things are going at the moment, so these announcements and investigations, like I say, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And also, as going forward as well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Deutsche Bank falling apart at the seams, to be quite frank, as they do have massive financial problems also. Right, that's it for today. I will see you in tomorrow's unless there's something to report. I will see you then. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.